And here I bees. I know you guys missed me on Sunday, and you know what? All I can say is, my back had been hurting me. That's why I had postponed it. Um, and I couldn't take it, so I took a muscle relaxer. That was the end of me for the rest of Sunday until about 9 or 10 o'clock that night, Pacific time. So all of you on the West Coast, I sorry. A sister was in pain, so I did what I had to do. So I postponed the grandparent show for, I don't know, a couple of weeks or something. And I figured nobody would really be tripping too hard since your bellies was probably full and you had the itis from your Easter dinner. So today is What the Fuck Tuesday, which is what we do here every Tuesday. We talk about the advice letters that come in. I read them to you. I provide an off the cuff answer. And that's how we spend the next 90 minutes going over these advice questions that have been submitted to me. So, welcome everybody to the channel. You're on the Debsterism channel. My name is Deborah Cooper. And yeah, I put my hair up because, honey, it's so hot in here. I had my fan is on low, but you can't. I didn't want to turn it up high because then you would hear it and it would override me talking. So I turned it down, but I'm already sweating. Oh, it's gonna be a burning up summer. I'm gonna have to do something. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for their kind comments about the new series that we're doing. How I changed my life series. The interviews that have been up so far have garnered great accolades from people. Really appreciative of what these women had to say. I have a couple of more that I need to work on, and then each Saturday. For the next few weeks, I'm doing more interviews. So, if you want to participate in this, you have a story to share that you think will be inspirational for other women, then please look in the show description. I'll make sure it's in there and submit your name on the survey form for consideration. All right. So let's get started because yeah, it's like, ugh, it's only April. We have, oh, okay, again, the number of 14 questions. All right. Let's go because we got a lot to cover in 90 minutes. This first letter is from a young man. He's under 18. Oh, I usually don't get letters from people that young. He's from California, doesn't say what city. I'm 17 years old, in a relationship I don't want to be in with my ex of 10 months' mom. I got her pregnant and persuaded her to abort, but she said she couldn't live without me or the child. But I don't want to be with her after the child. I want to be with someone my own age. But she's always making me feel bad about not being with her 24/7. I meet her every night, and if I don't go, she'll guilt trip me and indirectly hint that she's going to keep the baby. I feel so low and trapped, but if I leave her, now she'll keep the baby, which I can't live with. If I leave after abortion, she says she'll kill herself. I've been sleeping with her for the past 6 months. I managed to leave her a month ago, but came back and she was pregnant. How convenient. I used to be so confident before my ex and had loads of my friends. I can't meet my friends that she doesn't like, and I only have two that she doesn't mind. But she expects to be my priority in everything, and she does everything for me. I'm not ready for all this commitment, but because was so stupid, I've always lied to her and pretended I want everything she does, so she thinks I'm someone that I'm not. I know I shouldn't have lied, but I felt so pressured to go with excuse me, what she wants. Any help would be appreciated. Thank you so much, Deb. Okay, first thing, young man, first thing you got to understand is old bitches lie. The pulling the pregnancy prank when somebody tries to leave them is standard issue nigga bitch game. Okay, so what you need to do is take your little narrow ass over there with a pregnancy test, take her in the bathroom, make her pee in it while you watch, and then you determine for yourself if she's pregnant or not. I doubt that she is. I think it's just a tool to control you. Number two, if you've been dealing with her for 7 months, 6 months, and you're only 17, and you're in California, see, she's committing statutory rape. So what you need to do is fight back. I'm glad you wrote me. So what you do is you tell her, look here, bitch, we're through. You could have that baby if you want to, and you could do whatever you want to with it. But I'm telling you right now, if you try to control me anymore, I'm going to the police and I'm going to have you arrested for statutory rape. That's what I'm going to do. And you going to jail. Cause I'm gonna make sure you do. And if she tries anything, you write me back and I'll tell you a script to run that will make sure the police take her ass into cuffs. Secondly, start doing what you want to do. Okay, I know she gonna try to guilt trip you and all that stuff, but you have caller ID, young lad. Okay, when you see it's her, swipe to reject call. Okay, and then if she don't like it, say, "Come over here and tell my mother what you just told me, and let's see what happens." Call her bluff. You running scared. You can't do that. It's time for you to start G'ing up. You're gonna be dealing with adults, and you be trying to do adult activities, and you're gonna be trying to have a child mentality. I really feel sorry for you because you, like a typical horny teenager, let your dick write a check that now your ass has to cash. So, it's really an unfortunate situation to tell you the truth. But you need to G up, start doing whatever you want to do. She don't have to like it. But if she don't like this, tell her, come over here and let's talk to my parents then. Or let's go, better yet, let's go to the police. Because I want them to know what you've been doing to me and how you coerce me and how you trick and manipulate and try to control me. I'm going to tell it all. Everything that you use to try to make me do what you want me to do, including lying about a baby to try to trap me here. I'm a kid. You're an adult. You knew better. This is what you did to me. Make it all her fault. That's what black men do anyway. You may as well get started on that path when it's going to benefit you, like right now. But oh no, 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 no. Ooh, and ooh, just ooh, if I was your mama, that bitch would be stomped into the ground. I can't even imagine how many ass kicking she would get. I would finish and then rest up and start all over again. No. But you need to learn now, right now, before you head off to college or anywhere else, to control your dick. Okay, that is the number one thing that gets a young man in trouble. You end up with a whole bunch of baby mamas. Your paycheck is tapped. You don't have nothing. You can't get nothing. Your credit's all fucked up. And it's all because you could not control where you put your dick. So you need to start doing that right now. Realize all pussy ain't good pussy. Okay? That's the number one thing you need to be thinking about right about now. But yes, you do what I said. Next time she calls, you say, "I'm not coming." And she gonna say, "Well, I'm gonna have a baby then," and say, "Oh, let's talk about that because I was about to head over to the police to tell them about how you raped me because I'm a minor child and you an adult. So let's talk about that, bitch." Okay, that's what you need to say to her ass. Yeah, he does, but he's a kid. Okay, let's keep this in perspective. He's a child and she's an adult. Okay, now whether it was the roles were reversed and this was a male doing it to a 17-year-old girl, I don't care. My sentiments are the same. Children do not belong in sexual activities with adults ever, never, never. Okay, so yes, he's young and that's how people get teenagers because they know their hormones are raging and they take advantage of it. But that's what predators do. And believe me, there's male predators, lots of them, and there's female predators just as, just the same. So, don't be coming down too hard on him because this is some illegal shit she's doing to this little boy. And even though he's 17, he's still a child. And that's the number one thing that we need to stay focused on when we, respond to questions like this. This is a minor child. And this is an adult woman with a daughter his age that he used to date. Okay, so she's got to at least be in her 40s. So the bitch is plenty old enough to know better. All right, so let's move on. Question number two. Do that. Don't you hesitate. Question number two. This is from a woman in the 26 to 35 age group. She's out of New York. She says, "So I've been having an inner battle with myself on how I should appropriately," and she put that in quotes, "react/respond to my current situation. My boyfriend and I have been together for 3 years. We are both in our mid 30s. He is the one and I love him dearly. However," there's always a however or a but. Oh, let me turn my lamp on because it's getting a little dingy in here. All right. Uh, there are times when we are with our friends and he makes comments that make me cringe. For example, the other day we were out with friends and I ordered a round of shots, something I do pretty often. I like to make sure everyone has a good time. And he made a comment, "Geez, no wonder you have trouble saving money." I was mortified that he said this. Only one friend was around to hear that. She didn't seem to even notice slash care, but I was annoyed he said it, especially since it's not really true. I should be better at saving, but I have a great job and no issue with my finances and savings. I confronted him about this later, and he said, "Guess I was just trying to say maybe you don't need to buy all those shots," but it came out differently. There were a few other comments like this, i.e., he was joking, poking fun at me because I was drinking slow. It all bubbled up and we had a huge fight after we left the bar. Am I overreacting or do you think there could be a bigger issue in our relationship? I don't know why he thinks it's okay to say certain things sometimes, especially when we're in public. Help, girl, you need to get your G on and your bitch face. And when he says something like that, say, look, motherfucker, it's not your money, so shut the hell up. That's what you need to do. Shut him down. He don't have no right to say nothing about what money you spend that you earned, that's in your bank account, that's your money. Okay, y'all ain't married. This your mere boyfriend. Okay, so whatever you spend, that's your business. 100% yours, not his. So, that's my thing is like, you know what I would have done? I would have ordered a shot for everybody else the second round except for his ass. Since you want me to save money, I'll do it this way by saving money from buying your drink. You want something, you buy your own, motherfucker. How about that? See, I'm just evil. And then um he's making these comments to like these snarky little comments in public like that. See, that's what's called emotional abuse, and you guys should know I have slated. I'm going to do two or maybe even three-part series on emotional abuse. I covered it before, but I don't know, kind of in passing, but I'm going to go deep into it, but that's going to be like May or June or something, but it's coming. Okay, so be ready for that. And I don't know why you are going to, tolerate this young lady, because what you have to understand is, him thinking he has the right to tell you what to do with your money, that is a problem. Because why is he so concerned about what you spend? So it could be more for you to spend on him. That's where my mind went. So I don't know. You might want to think about this. You don't say, oh, you said you've been together for 3 years. But he keeps doing this. There are times you say, this is a pattern that means, and this is emotional abuse. Not to mention, he's trying to publicly humiliate you. I don't know. You got 3 years. I would make it, that would be the end of the 3 years for me. I don't take kindly to that kind of stuff. You're not going to try to criticize me in public like that and clown and shame me, and you supposed to be on my team. See, and he's showing himself not to be very loyal doing stuff like that. Even if he did think it, he thought you were spending too much. He's supposed to say that in private, away from other people. But to blurt that out publicly with your friends there like that, he's doing that on purpose to just, fuck over you. So you better understand what time it is and pay attention. Question number, oh, let me see what's going on in there. Oh, that's put off. I talked about that golden moon at the beginning of the show. That's put off because I took a muscle relaxer and was knocked out cold on Sunday. But it's coming. It's coming. Check just make sure you're a subscriber. You'll get the notification on the day, sometime in May. Number three, female 19 to 26. She just says USA. He will go a whole day without talking to me, not even one text to let me know he's thinking of me. He says I'm lazy because I don't text him first. No, I always initiate everything. Last time I did, he pretty much blew me off and lied about it. We got into a fight when I was trying to break up with him. I told him he doesn't care, and then he said it's hard to win, and then proceeded to give me a list of reasons, including one of them being that people tell him stuff about me. I keep asking what it is, and he won't tell me, so I'm hurt. So I'm giving him short replies to everything. I can't even break up now because he never even talks to me. Ugh. Advice, please. I keep giving attitudes that I know I shouldn't, but he has previously hurt me so bad. I have so much resentment going on here. Okay, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't break up because he won't talk to me. How? Since when do people need words to break up? Send his motherfucking ass a text, a smoke signal, a carrier pigeon, a fax, an email, post it on Facebook on his wall. There's many ways to get the message across that you don't want to be bothered with his shit anymore. So you just making excuses. I'm not going for that. You're making excuses because you don't really want to break up with him. You want to be having this drama and this agony and pain, which is our show on Thursday. So you might want to tune in because that describes you. And this thing he's talking about, why is it every time I do my show a siren goes by? They drive me crazy. All right. So then he's talking about, these things that people tell him stuff. That's just game, girl. All you had to do was say, yeah, people tell me shit about you too. And he was like, well, what did they tell you about you? Say probably the same thing they tell you about me. Just play games with him back. Come on now. You guys take this stuff too seriously. You talking about, I feel so hurt. You don't never get hurt about the shit a man says to you. Never. Ever. What you do is fire back. He shoots a bullet, you launch a grenade. He shoots a grenade, you do is use a flamethrower. Okay, you toast his ass. That's what you do. You don't sit there and take this kind of stuff from him, playing these mind games with you. Send his monkey ass a text and break up with him immediately. He's not, I mean, he's going a whole day without talking to you and all this accusations and mind games and all this kind of stuff. You are wasting plenty of your time. Your youth and beauty is going to a knucklehead. You need to get your mind right. Get out of this situation promptly. These young girls, oh my God, just unbelievable. These people, I just said, who, girl, I'm telling you. That's true. Yeah, that's true. Because every time I'm talking major shit, the sirens roll through. But I just can't believe that these young girls be taking this kind of stuff. I don't have the patience for this nonsense. I never had it. That's what my daddy used to tell me. Oh, you guys, I have to confess. I was talking about this with a guy that I know. We had coffee the other day, and we were talking about relationships and stuff. He got a new girlfriend. He fancies himself in love. I said, nigga, your ass ain't in love. You don't even know how to spell it. So we had a good laugh. And then I told him about how my father, when I was younger, told me that I had never been in love before because I gave my men too much freedom. I just, didn't get overly attached to them. And I'm like, why should I get attached to them when, they sure enough, they're going to show themselves to be stupid before too long. I don't want to be like all, caught up in the drama because you already know what's coming. And so then he's like, well, you never really been in love because you just give him too much rope. And I'm like, I was all affected, clutching my pearls and whatnot. And I'm like, well, how could you say such a thing to me, Daddy? And he says, well, because if you were really in love, let's see, how did he word it? Like, if you were really in love, when that nigga retched, that's the word he said, retched for his coat, you would get yours down and talk about putting it on, talk about where we going, where we going. And that's never been me. I'm not that clingy type. You go do what you gonna do, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And if I don't like what you're doing, then that's gonna be the end. If I do like what you're doing, then I'll stick around. But he said that to me, and I was just all devastated and all up in my feelings. I'm like, I mean, I love them and stuff in my own way, but I always love myself more. That's my issue. I'm not like most women where they love, this man, and they like we're gonna be talking about these chicks on Thursday. They all affected by, this love. Hey, ZVH, somebody from Twitch just logged on. Um, I just can't do that. And it's like if they infringe on me in any way, shape, or form, I'm out. They're fired. I don't like that, and you're not going to treat me that way. And so it's been kind of an interesting journey for me. So anyway, let's move on. Enough about me. Question number four. Four. Female, 19 to 26, from Raleigh, North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever, Raleigh. My boyfriend and I have been together for about a year now, and I just recently started bringing him around family. Do you notice how they always emphasize how long they've been together? Why is that so important to women? That's always the first thing they mention. Okay, he's the first man to meet my family since I split from my son's dad 2 years ago. He's been to two family close friend gatherings that include a certain married man who my boyfriend claims has a crush on me. A little backstory on this specific man. I've known him since I was 8 years old. He's my oldest brother's best friend. He and his wife and children are pretty much at every one of our family gatherings, including all major holidays. My boyfriend says that he is extra friendly with me and it makes him uncomfortable. I didn't see it because it's so natural to me that my brother's best friends are friendly, as they've always treated me as a little sister. My boyfriend is 7 years older than I am, and my brother's friend is the same age as him, so he feels that if I'm dating him, I could have possibly dated my brother's friend at some point too. The thing is, there's no history there, a completely platonic friendship. I love my friend as he and his family have been there for me through tough times. We've all vacationed together, spent all major holidays together for the past 5 years since they moved back home after his medical discharge from the military, and even see each other at church fairly often. My boyfriend says that my friend seems too invested in me and asks him more personal questions than my own brother has. And he seems to be around me too much at these gatherings, checks up on me without me noticing, and gives me more attention than he gives his own wife. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to skip some of this because you went into all this detail. I love my boyfriend and want to do whatever makes him happy, but last night he said he doesn't want me talking to him anymore or going to family gatherings without him if this friend will be there too. I'm sad because that's going to be super weird and awkward as I can't ask my brother to stop inviting his best friend over to his own house. So I know I'll be around him, but I don't want to do anything to make my boyfriend sad or uncomfortable. Has anyone else ever been in this type of situation where you have to distance yourself from someone who makes your partner feel uncomfortable? Yes, they've written in about it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think my boyfriend had a point. The things he noticed and pointed out would make me feel uncomfortable if the roles were reversed. So I'm going to do right by him and keep my distance in a friendly manner. I'm sad and feel bad that my boyfriend has such strong jealous feelings towards this man because it really is just a long time friendship and nothing more. Okay, this is what you do. You've wasted a year of your time with a control freak. You didn't really understand it, but there's no reason for this kind of activity and he's starting to separate you from the people who care about you. What triggered this is the fact that this man came and was asking him questions. He knows his bullshit is about to get exposed by somebody who's got your back. That's why he doesn't want you going around him. It's in order to keep his game, whatever game he's running on you, because you didn't talk much about what's happening over this year, this relationship. You only talked about this particular situation. But I can guarantee you there's been plenty of these kind of situations. You just didn't notice them. Just like you didn't notice the guy, looking at you or whatever. And I'm going to say this. Your boyfriend, you're hearing one side of the story, right? You're hearing your boyfriend's interpretation of a platonic friend who cares about you like a little sister. Okay, I was telling somebody how my three brothers would do when somebody came to the house, right? Now my brother, well, okay, the oldest one was kind of thuggish, but the other two was like, Poindexters. But you would never know that because they let some boy come to the house. Suddenly they sagging their pants is low and they voice drops about 10 octaves and they stuff their hands in their pocket and they start looking, that G look, that like what's up, nigga? That kind of look that men give each other. So all three of them would surround the dude and do that to him. Okay, that's what men do when they care about you. Okay, so you need to put this in perspective. He's your brother's friend, and your brothers are trying to protect you. This is the first time you brought the dude around. Of course, they're curious. Who is this monkey? What the fuck is he doing? What's his story? What's he all about? What's he trying to do with you? What's his history? What's his past? What's his goals? What kind of man is he? That's what they're trying to figure out because they're in their protective role, which is what men are supposed to do. It's so unfortunate so many women don't know that. So you trying to go and appease him. Don't you ever do that. What you do is tell him these are friends of mine. They've been my friends since I was like in grade school. They're going to continue to be my friends. Either you deal with it or you hit the door by. Because we only been together a year. I'm not going to take any shit from you. And you're not going to tell me what to do. And you're not going to isolate me from friends and family. You're not going to do that. That's what you need to tell him. So if his jealousy and insecurity is to the point where he can't, deal with what you talking about, then let his little dusty ass, go on down the trail. But don't, be very careful with men who come in trying to isolate you away from people that care about you and have your back. That is a red flag like a motherfucker. And you just being dumb and falling all in line and stuff, probably because you young, you don't know no better. But I'm telling you, let the men protect you. Let them ask him questions. If he don't want to come around, then he don't come. But I mean, don't you stop going because of him. Do everything that you want to do. That's not your husband. He don't own you. You ain't a slave. You ain't an animal in a chain. Do what you want to do, and he either likes it or he does not, and fuck him if he don't. I'm like, these people, the dusty, rusty spider. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, that's what they do. It's like increasingly, they isolate you. That's part of the emotional abuse to get control. And then you're gonna be telling her what to wear, where she can and can't go, other places. You can't go nowhere without me. That's the typical abuser, control freak abuser. That's what they typically do. And they try to put it, couch it like they're protecting you, and it's, because they're anxious or whatever. But in reality, they just want control, and they feel threatened by the fact that some other man cares about you. You better recognize it for what it is and stop tripping. Question number 5. This is from a young lady, 19 to 26 age group in San Mateo. That's right down the highway here. Well, probably about 40 miles from me. I've gone on 2 dates with a guy I really like so far. Our last date was last Thursday night and it went well. He texted me the next day, which was Friday. Today, Saturday, around 1 p.m., he texted me asking how the rest of my day was yesterday. We have some chit chat. And then around 1:15, he asked what I'm doing tonight. I responded by saying, no plans yet. What about you? It's now 4 o'clock and no response. I'm really annoyed because I wanted to see him again and also just want to plan my night out. I'm assuming the next best thing to do is just not text him at all. And when he texts me back, say I have other plans. But I just feel like it's weird and annoying to ask me a question. And when I ask a question back, he didn't respond. My friend said I could say something like, let me know if you want to get drinks or dinner. But I feel like that's annoying. What was the point of even asking me what I'm doing tonight, then not responding? And if he does respond, at what time is it too late to accept any invite? It was too late when he asked you. That was the same day. You don't accept that last minute shit. He was fishing around to see what somebody was doing that he could join in on and find, some fun without really having to do any work to do it. Just join you. That's why he asked what you was doing. And then to say, well, why don't we do this or why don't we do that? So he could have the pleasure of telling you no. See, you young girls, y'all don't have no game. When a man asks you on that day what you're doing that night, you always have plans. I don't care if your plans is to twiddle your thumbs and stare at the ceiling. You have plans. Okay, and that's what you tell him. Oh, I'm busy tonight. Why do you ask? Don't fill in the blanks for him. Ask him. Why do you ask? Make him tell you. Well, because I wanted to go out with you. I wanted to take you to dinner. I wanted us to go check out a movie. I was this and that, blah, blah, blah. Then you say, oh, that sounds great. That really would have been a lot of fun. But, it's really hard for me to do things on the spur of the moment on Fridays and Saturday nights because, that's the only time I'm not working. And so I really, try to make sure I schedule my fun. But if you want to get together next weekend or something, just let me know. You better let me know by like Wednesday because other than that, I'll be busy again. That's how you put, you got to put a motherfucker on notice that you're not going to be that woman to be yanked around like a yo-yo, waiting for his ass to maybe possibly consider wanting to maybe spend some time with you, which is what you're doing. You wanted to see him. No, you don't want to see him. You just want to go out. Now, whether you go out with him or somebody else whose company you enjoy is irrelevant. The fact is, you don't want to be in the house because you're in the 19 to 26 age group, and that's usually when people are cutting the shit. I stayed in the streets. I stayed in the streets every night. I went somewhere, but you know, it's just a trick. It's just a game. So don't fall for it. Do what I told you to do. Okay. And any man to try to, play that little game with you with what you're doing. I mean, unless that's like your fiance or something and y'all only dealing with each other about to get married or something, well, then you can be more flexible. But some monkey ass fool you just met, you only been on 2 dates, and he trying to, take up your time and keep you on a hook like that, and you let him, don't do that. Don't ever do that. He got mad. Well, guess what? He could scratch his ass and get glad too. Don't nobody care about his mad. You know, that's really as an aside. This lady posted this thing on Facebook. I wish I had it. And she was saying how or was it Instagram? I don't know, but anyway, she had this little meme thing up and it said, like express your opinion without making an enemy. So I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it some more. And then I had to share how much I disagreed with that because it's not our job, ladies, to make men feel good about what we say. If they're doing something that's getting on your goddamn nerves, it's hurting your feelings, it's infringing on your boundaries, it's doing anything that's damaging to you in any way, shape, or form, you do not worry about his feelings. This because you know what? They could feel like you're an enemy. You walking down the street, ain't never seen this clown before, right? And he asks you for your number and you say no thank you. You know, no, I'm not interested, whatever. Or he okay, now he sees you as any this is when they want to cuss you out, call you a bitch and all these names and all this stuff, right? So you didn't say anything other than tearing him down, his demand. But suddenly, he's considers you to be an enemy that he wants to attack. So I'm giving that as an example because I want you to understand you do not control anyone's feelings or behaviors or reactions but your own. And when a woman tries to monitor and eggshell step and think about and do all these machinations to appease someone else's feelings, what you're doing is not being true to yourself. How are we doing on this program? This, how it changed my life. Do you notice each one of the women interviewed so far, that's their closing comment? Be true to yourself. Be about you. Okay, have you guys noticed that? If you didn't, go back and listen. The two that's up already, plus the ones I'm going to put up. They're all on that same page, and it took them a long time to get there. So, I just wanted to kind of interject that because that young lady there is on that path, of trying to appease and please somebody when she needs to be appeasing and pleasing herself, you know. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not going to, appease any man's feelings. As a matter of fact, it's like, unless I hurt a man's feelings that day, it's not a good day for me. That means it's like I failed that day. It's like I failed. I have to get up out of my bed and get online and find somebody's feelings to hurt so I can do my daily quota of hurting men's feelings. That is important to me. So, it makes them tougher, makes them big boys instead of panty wearing little punk asses, you know. It's my job, someone's got to do it, so I nominated myself. Let's move on to question number 6. This is from a young man in the 19 to 25 age group from San Fernando. I'm a 23-year-old male and I've always had a problem with my relationships. At least I think it's a problem. At first, it starts with fireworks. I am in love. The initial attraction, of course, wears off after some time, but I think it gets much worse for me. After a longer time in a relationship, I don't feel those butterflies at all. After every hit I take in a fight, my level of butterflies drops by a small amount. Eventually, I feel none. I do think I love my girlfriend and we are connected on a very deep level, but something is missing for me. I don't have thoughts like, I am sure I want to spend the rest of my life with this girl. That will be my future wife. Is the TV over romanticizing everything? Maybe I didn't find the right girl, or am I really messed up? You just so immature and stupid. I wish there was a way to slap your ass through the computer. Number one, okay, first of all, why is it that men go by what they see on TV and think that's real life? I just cannot tell you how many men have this attitude that they compare themselves, they rank women, they judge, women by what they see on TV. These people getting paid, $50,000 per episode or $250,000, whatever, depending on their level of stardom, and you thinking that that's reality that you need to model your life after. Do you know how stupid you sound? Okay, you 19, you 23, you way too old for this. Now what you really have to deal with is the fact that you have commitment issues. That's what you have. You want everything to be pretty and all beautiful and wonderful and fantasy filled. You don't want a real relationship because in a real relationship there are going to be conflicts that you have to negotiate. You have to talk them out. The measure of a good strong couple is not that they never fight, it's that when they fight they resolve it well. Okay, that's the measure of a couple that's going to stand strong and stay together for a long time. They resolve their problems very well. So you are looking, and at 23, what you doing talking about, I want to spend the rest of my life with this girl. Who would think that at 23? Did I think that at 23? Hell no. That's why I was running from the man I eventually did marry. But, I wasn't having them kind of thoughts. He was 10 years older, so of course he was having them. But you know what I mean? I wasn't having them at that age. That will be my future wife. That's romanticizing. Um. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. You got some commitment issues, and you be looking for an excuse to dip out, and so you blame it on the fact that you don't feel butterflies anymore. That's some childish shit. You need to grow up. I'm done with that letter. Question number 7. The young man again. Oh my God, all these people in the 19 to 25 age group from Miami. Wait a minute, this looks long as hell. Oh, no, no. Oh, okay. How can I skim this? We met online. He's 7 years younger than me. I've been with him for 2.5 years. He grew up very poor with a mindset of scarcity. He barely worked enough hours to cover his bills. Okay. Weed was recreational in the state that they used to live in. We moved across country, moved in together. He was unemployed and barely looked for a job for the first 8 months. Then he got a lifeguard job over the summer. He worked about 60% of what we thought he would. Then he had anxiety. I applied for him to work at FedEx since he could work part time while going back to school and make a decent rate of pay. Okay, he's had the FedEx job for 6 months now, but I was footing every single bill for the first 8 months we lived here. I work in a nonprofit and I've got straight crazy student loans. Okay, so then he started school. Evidently, he got a loan. He got $7,000 in loans. He spent 2 to 3 thousand on fun stuff. That's what broke people usually do. People not used to having money. Video games, a virtual reality headset, wrestling shows, hockey games, a concert. Wow. Since he's got money coming in weekly with his job, I've been going to the ATM to take out his portion of the rent, utilities, etc., and extra money to pay back all the debt that was incurred from him refusing to work. I've been doing this for months, despite him wishing his money was mostly his. Okay. So we get in the car and he asks me where we're going. I tell him the ATM to get your money, and he loses it. He acts like I just started doing this and I've taken $1,000 of money over the past month alone. We have bills. Why is it my job to pay them all by myself? I pay his phone bill on my credit card and use the money I take from the ATM to pay it off. I buy his food since I run all the errands and cook 2 separate meals and keep a detailed log of what he owes. He freaked out on me so hard. I started to cry. He's constantly gaslighting me, telling me if I didn't spend much on groceries, maybe I wouldn't be in such debt, and that my gluten allergy is complete bullshit. And he wants 1 week to do whatever he wants to do with his paycheck. Wow. Okay. And I also pay 20% more rent than he does because I make more money. It seems petty and immature. Okay, he doesn't get it. He makes me out to be the bad guy. God, my cousin, come on now. Why you give me these long ass letters? Okay, I don't know how to communicate with him now that he's been selfish. He's very abusive, emotionally neglectful. I've tried so hard with him, but I just can't get it through to him that what he's doing isn't fair to me. Any words of wisdom? Yes, get rid of this dusty motherfucker. Get rid of him. Kick him out. Kick him out and tell him that once he, gets out, and what you need to do too is go to court, present the bills for what he owes you, and sue him in small claims court for the balance. Then you can put a lien on his paycheck and get your money out before he ever gets it. That's what you need to do. It's time to stop playing with this boy. You've been coddling him and taking care of him like he's your baby. What the fuck is this? He is a grown ass man, and he want to get a $7,000 loan and buy video games and go to concerts and wrestling matches, and you stayed with him. That's so immature. He owed you money, and that's how he did. That's what he did. Instead of paying you, you supposed to like, oh no, nigga, you're not gonna do shit until you give me my money. But you didn't do that. No, no. And he's verbally abusive and neglectful, and he thinks you're supposed to take care of him. That's a trifecta of fuck up. So you're supposed to be getting rid of this monkey right about now after you serve him with papers to give you your money back. Go down to the courthouse. They'll tell you how to do it. They'll fill out the form. You just mail it to his job. They'll give it to him. Certified mail, return receipt requested. That's effective service in every state in the country. All right. Especially you send it to the payroll department. You get your little lien and stuff. You send it to the payroll department. They'll just tap his ass, and that'll be that. All right. Yeah, I don't know I don't know either, because that's like, that's not sexy. That's not sexy at all. He's a loser. Question number 8. This is from a guy in the 36 to 45 age group from the UK. I have a friend. We've known each other for about 20 years. Whenever we get together, she's always touchy feely, likes to cuddle when we watch movies. We sleep in the same bed. Ooh, excuse me. Wait a minute. Let me see something here. Okay, we sleep in the same bed when she spends the night. Oh, and she's always bumping into me when we walk side by side. She's super supportive of my aspirations and makes suggestions on what I can do to improve myself. We've never kissed, but she has made moves on me when she's drunk that I don't reciprocate because I would rather show affection when we aren't intoxicated. Very smart man. She feels comfortable enough around me to walk around in her underwear when she's at my place. Despite all this, she says she just wants to be friends. What gives? She's the type of girl who always has at least a dozen guys chasing her and is always busy, but makes time to hang out always. Another thing, she was married but got divorced last year. I don't think she's over that since she still complains about her ex regularly. I'm so confused. Oh, okay. What you need to do is sit girlfriend down and ask her what the fuck she wants. Be very blunt and do this when you neither one of you has been drinking. Okay, you want to ask her what is it, what is it you want? Why are you doing all this? Put her ass on the spot. And and just get really clear because um what you have to do is though, sir, is make a decision. I mean, 20 years that's a long time for you to be toyed with like this, but what you have to do is make a decision if you ready to let this woman go because it just sounds to me like you just like an ego boost, like a backup, something to walk around so she feels desirable and hot and supported and encouraged and loved and all these kind of things. She's getting all of this without giving you anything in return and you just being dumb and just giving it to her. So what you have to do is cut her off. You say, it's enough of this. It's been going on for 20 years. I don't want some woman walking around in my house in her drawers that I ain't fucking. And just be blunt. It's like, you talk about we friends and all this old stuff, you want to get touchy feely. I don't get like that with friends. So you're going to be treated just like my male friends from here on out. Don't touch me. You ain't sleeping over in my bed, and you ain't walking around in your drawers, and you not spending the night. They don't spend the night. You not spending the night either. And put some boundaries up. I mean, what's wrong with you? Why are you taking this kind of behavior for so long? It makes it sound like you really, was hoping that she would flip the switch and want to get with you, but she's not. She's gonna just, keep playing this game with you as long as you let her do it. And that's why it's time for you to G up and put some boundaries in place and tell her no. Tell her stop and tell her we ain't doing this shit no more. And like you gonna be sleeping around, going around my house and sleeping in bed with me, walking around in your drawers, and we gonna be fucking. Now if you're not prepared to do that, then you don't need to be around here. And so just to put it like that, so she knows, you know, what the deal is. Yeah, 20 years of that. They're in their mid, what did he say? He's in the 36 to 45 age group, I think he said. Let me just double check. Yeah, 36 to 45 in the UK. Yeah, he's better than me because I wouldn't be able to do all that. You walking around my house in your drawers. We fucking. That's just the way it is. Question number 9. This is from a man, male, 2019 to 25, from Dallas, Texas. I'm a 24-year-old male who is in a relationship with a 23-year-old female. I have bad OCD and I hate uncleanliness. Recently, I was engaging in intercourse with my partner and I noticed a brown ring of you know what around her inner behind. Oh, am I being trolled? this, this can't be real. Um, to me, this is super gross, and you aren't showering well enough. Am I wrong for bugging out about this, or is this normal? Please, Deb, any feedback helps. I really like this woman, but this is tripping me out. Okay, you like the girl. Okay, what you need to do is suggest that she get her some bubble bath. Okay, this is how you do stuff in a subtle way. Get her some like some fancy smell good stuff, bubble bath stuff, and draw her stinky little fucked up can't wipe the shit off her ass butt and throw her in the bathtub, because see really. Because I mean, maybe she's, yeah, I don't know. You don't say what her size is, but you get a little bit bigger. I mean, you got some meat back there, so it's kind of hard. You got to dig, pull them cheeks apart to really get in there good. So, girlfriend just needs to sit, she needs to sit in some water and take a bath. That's what she needs to do. Alternatively, which is good because see that way you make sure she takes the bath before y'all get busy. You won't have to worry about this. Alternatively, they have these like Summer's Eve and all these different Walmart sells them. These flushable wipes. And so, most women have them in their purse because especially, when you're on your cycle or whatever and you want to, after you urinate or do number 2, you want to freshen up down there. So you use these flushable wipes because wet cleans better than dry. You don't use wet wipes because those are too harsh. You use something that's designed for those tender female tissues. And you get her a couple packs of those and suggest that she start carrying them in her purse. Okay, and if she says why, then you tell her. And she most likely is gonna get it because you're gonna be like the bubble bath and that kind of thing, unless she's really dumb. But I just can't believe that she didn't smell it or that she didn't notice when she was wiping that there was still streaks on there. You're supposed to keep wiping until there's nothing there. You don't stop while there's still streakage. That's how I taught my baby to use the potty. So I'm kind of curious who taught her, who was her toilet training person when she was a toddler. Because she evidently missed out on something. It's just like, Lady Boss, shut up. No, something is happening. Something is, and this is not unusual to see young women who don't really know much about feminine hygiene. This is not unusual. You guys don't even know some of the. I mean, there's no point in putting them on the column because they're, it's just a simple response. Hit reply, 2 sentences, I'm done. It's not the kind of thing that is really an advice issue. But this young man is having a problem, so this is different. But yeah, it's a lot of these little girls, growing up in foster homes with their parents are drug addicts or alcoholics or whatever. Nobody's teaching them these things. And so they're doing the best they can. I mean, they got some rudimentary knowledge of, showering and bathing and doing their nails and the stuff when they were, probably in preschool and kindergarten and whatnot. But nobody, as a young lady, your body changes, all the hormones and stuff. So it's going to require different techniques for care. The hair starts growing in different. I mean, all kind of stuff starts going on. So things. The hygiene program needs to be upgraded. Well, Cassie, yeah, but I mean, that's you. I mean, a lot of young women just really don't. I'm telling you, they grew up in group homes or foster care and nobody taught them. I'm telling you all the truth. So even though I know it's gross and I know he's tripping out, sometimes we have to have a little empathy for the fact that these are young people that just honestly nobody took the time to educate them and train them about these kinds of things. And it's not necessarily the kind of stuff you're going to see online. It's the kind of thing an older woman, tells you about in a private conversation. You know what I mean? So that's my suggestion for dude. Yeah. Well, you want to make sure you use the kind that's flushable though, because people there's a lot that are not, and then you end up fucking up somebody's plumbing. So you want to buy only the flushable ones that disintegrate when they hit water. That's the kind you want. Don't get the ones that you have to toss in the garbage. Then you're gonna have streaky, wipey things in the garbage can. That's not cute. Don't do that. All right, question number 10. This is from a woman, 36 to 45, from Philadelphia. First, I'd like to say that I love watching your videos and that I've learned a great deal since discovering your content. My question is not about a romantic late relation, but I hope that you can help me. To preface, I'm an extreme introvert with social anxiety issues, which I know I need to work on. I don't have any friends. Okay, nah, 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 nah. I'm estranged from most of my family, as is my sister, because it's rife with dysfunction and mental illness. My question is about my sister. She's 32. For some months now, she's been staying with me in my very small apartment after going through some emotional, financial, and legal difficulties. I don't ask anything of her, but she does buy her own food. She has a very low paying job and claims that her monthly expenses are upwards of $1,200 despite not having to pay rent. Well, what expenses does she have? You need to have an itemized. Well, let me go. Okay. She believes that her supervisors are plotting against her and can't ever seem to get full time hours, which I'm not sure she could even handle, as she was recently been diagnosed with schizophrenia. In her free time, she's either sleeping or will just be away for many hours doing God knows what. From text messages that my sisters accidentally sent to me, I have proof that she is a compulsive liar, has implied to her coworkers that I'm emotionally abusive, and trying to send her to a homeless shelter. I want to help, but I'm at a loss as to what to do, and I'm tired of being drawn into her drama. She's extremely toxic, negative, and confrontational. She won't ever give me a straight answer when I question her, and she claims to not trust me because I've decided to stay in contact with our mother, who has many issues of her own and no one else to rely on. She isn't allowed a key to my place, and I'm often tempted to just leave her things out on the doorstep because coming home to a quiet, calm space is extremely important to me. On the other hand, where we've never really been that close, I am terrified of her ending up in a homeless shelter or otherwise institutionalized. How would you handle this situation? Thank you. How would I handle it? That bitch would be out of my house like, what time is it? 10 minutes from now. That's what would happen. First of all, she's talking about she's spending $1,200 on what? You don't eat $1,200 worth of food, heifer. You ain't paying no bills here. What the fuck you owe? You spending $1,200 a month on? See, I would want to see some bill statements to justify that. I would also want to see a medical diagnosis of this alleged schizophrenia. Because, I mean, she could just be saying this game to make you feel sorry for her so she won't kick her out. Because, see, now with her being like mentally ill and diagnosed, you feel guilty and, trapped to make sure that she has a place to stay, which is exactly how you feel. But my thing is this: unless you are a medical professional, a psychiatric professional, a psychologist, a shrink, something, then you are not equipped to deal with somebody who claims that they have schizophrenia. Whether she really does or not is not the point. Even you are not equipped to handle that. So what you need to do is get on the phone to social services and you say, I have a sister who's been recently diagnosed with schizophrenia. She's a bum and I want her out of my house. So what kind of housing options does she have in a group home for people with mental issues, because that's where her ass needs to go. And then you get a social worker to come over and look at her and diagnose her and get her bitch ass up out your house. That's what you need to do. Because I don't know. I mean, how you gonna have friends with a crazy sister anyway? Your place is little. You supporting her. I mean, this is just dragging drama. This just sounds like you know that something's wrong with her. You don't even give her a key because you don't want her coming and going. And why are you so scared of her ending up in a homeless shelter or in an institution? That's where she could get some help. Some help you can't give her. So stop thinking about yourself and stop being selfish and get that woman up out your house and into the hands of somebody who's qualified to really help her. They're mental health professionals. You're not. Okay, there's nothing you can do for this woman. And where she's disappearing off, I think that's where the $1,200 is going, up her nose. My personal opinion, because a lot of people who are cokeheads present as schizophrenic or bipolar, and what they really are is drug addicts. So that's a good thing to have checked out too. But in any event, no matter what her problem is, just get the bitch out your house, sister or not. Just she gotta go. Question number 11. Female, 26 to 35 from Wisconsin. Hi, I met this guy who's really nice and caring and has qualities of what I'm looking for in a man. We saw each other once before and he's asking to meet me again. He also texts me every day. The problem is, while he has no problem answering my questions and talking in detail or sharing stuff about himself, he never asks me anything. Even when I, for example, asked about his job, he would answer, but he wouldn't even say, How about you? I really can't figure out if he's really bad at communication or if he's just not interested in knowing anything about me. I stopped mentioning stuff about myself because I don't even know if he wants to know this stuff. Any insights? Well, I mean, it sounds like you're not comfortable in the relationship. How many times do I have to say this? You're in a relationship with somebody or trying to get in one, and you're not feeling comfortable. You're feeling like, he's not really interested in me as a person. He's not asking me any questions about myself. He's not trying to get to know me. Really, it sounds like all he's trying to do is angle for some ass. So what you need to do is just stop seeing him. I mean, it's very simple. He's not giving you the kind of exchange and interaction and potential relationship that you would want. He's very closed off, and so it's like pulling teeth with a man like that. Everything that you get out of it, you're gonna have to work for it. That shit is fucking exhausting. So unless you want to be exhausted trying to carry a relationship by yourself, then I suggest you tell him that it's just not gonna work and you don't see that you guys have anything much in common, and that's be the end of that. Yeah, he only wants some booty. I peeped that real quick. He just giving just enough. He's talking about himself because he wants you to feel comfortable. you know, inviting him to your mattress. But he don't care about you. You just someone to plunder. And you recognize that, but you don't really have the words for it, which is why you wrote me. So, question number 12, woman, 26 to 35, from Los Angeles. My boyfriend of 2 years has an ex girlfriend that will not leave me alone. Beat the bitch's ass. We went to a resort an hour away from where we live to celebrate my 50th birthday. Oh, y'all is old. Why does it say 26 to 35? Well, she must have checked the wrong box. We went to lay out by one of the pools, and 30 minutes later, his ex shows up and lays out right next to us. She found out where we were going to be through his son, who lives with the ex. So she drove an hour, figured out what pool we were at just to aggravate us. Only people staying at the resort are supposed to use the pool and amenities, and she was not a paying customer and should have been removed. My boyfriend refused to ask her to leave, though. He also refused to go to the front desk to have her removed, even though I was crying and very upset. It was only after 2 hours of me bawling and screaming he finally went to the front desk to have her removed. But he went down and told them that they were going to be removed before he went to the front desk to tell them to remove her. So they were gone before anyone with the resort security could remove them. He's mad at me now and said I have ruined the weekend. There was plenty of other beaches for us to lay on. To me, he chose her feelings over mine. The last time he did this to me, we were going to his family reunion and his ex showed up again and again. He refused to ask her to leave and refused to leave with me until she left in front of this whole family. I think he's choosing his ex girlfriend's feelings over mine and that their relationship should be over. Well, since you think that, how long have you been with this dude? 2 years. And this is a repetitive pattern, and you still messing around with this disrespectful chump? What's wrong with you? This becomes your issue, girlfriend. You see what kind of man he is. And I keep telling y'all these days, whoever's his first love, he gonna always have a soft spot for that bitch. It ain't shit you can do about it. He's gonna let her get away with murder. You're competing with a ghost. And she knows he still has feelings for her, and that's why she feels so comfortable doing all these kinds of things to you. You need to understand what time it is and leave this man alone. You're wasting your time. And you too old for this. You just turned 50 years old and you still chasing your tail? And just chasing after some man who's got his nose open for some other bitch? See, there's something wrong with you. I mean, this is just a bit much. I mean, I could see if this was like the first time, but see, me, I would have went to the front desk. He wouldn't have had to worry. I'm like, oh, I'm going to the restroom. I'll be right back. Went to the front desk and reported that hoe and came and pointed at her and say, look, she's a stalker and she's here and she's not a guest. You need to remove her. So by the time he knew what was going on, the shit bitch would have been gone, and I would have sat down across my legs and picked up my drink and said, how you like me now? But see, you don't have that kind of thing. You're gonna sit there and cry. No, 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 no. Deb ain't gonna cry. Somebody else is gonna cry, but it's not gonna be me. And the second thing is, but the main thing is, you say this is, she will not leave you alone, and this happens again and again and again, and yet you keep staying there for her to do this to you. What's wrong with you? Why do you do that? This ain't the only dick in the world. And I mean, really? And you 50? Girl, you better get your act together. Okay, moving on. Question number 13 of 14. So this is going pretty well. I'm trying to tell you, because I would have been, I mean, the first thing though is, you got to fuck with him first. So that's why I would have went and got her removed myself. So it's like, obviously you wasn't going to do it. So I did it. And he would just sit there. He would have been mad, but I'm like, just scratch your ass and get glad. I don't give a fuck. Because, I'm here for a nice weekend. I don't want to look at that hoe. Now, you want to look at the hoe, then you can go with her. And I'll stay here and enjoy myself. So that's your choice. Either you go with her and be happy, or you stay here with me and you be happy. But I don't want to look at your face looking stupid. And you're going to be looking, complaining to me about some other bitch. That's not going to happen, son. No, dog. That ain't it. All right, question number 13, male, 26 to 35 from Fresno, California. I'm a 34-year-old male living with my 28-year-old fiance and her two sons, 10 and 3. Both have the same father. She and I have tried living together before. The first time was when the now oldest son was 4. It was just the three of us and we couldn't make it work, so we broke up. She returned to the biological father and had another boy with him. They broke up 1 year after the second baby was born. I haven't seen her for 5 years, and about 7 months ago, she was in town, wanted to get some closure. So we met up. She kept talking, decided to have another go at the relationship. Uh-huh. I was warned by her sister that the new boy of hers was the worst, and her brother-in-law also warned me not to do it because he truly hated the 3-year-old. I ignored them both and convinced her to quit her job and move in with me. The moment she moved in, it was apparent that the child was going to be a lot of work. The 10-year-old was fine because he just mostly retreated to his room and played video games all day. This 3-year-old, though, is a complete spoiled brat. He throws tantrum and cries all day long. Completely disrespectful, doesn't listen, is way behind and acts like a 1-year-old. He can only make like two annoying sounds and it drives me up the wall. At first, I tried my best to help discipline the child and give him some boundaries and all of that, but it's been 6 months now living with him and he just gets progressively worse. Every time I think we're making some progress, he takes 10 steps backwards. Okay, so he gave the parenting authority back to the mama. Okay, it's harder for him to be around the kid once he gave her authority. We just got into a huge fight because I've been hiding in my room. I hate being a step parent. I really can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. I tried doing nice things with them like walks in the parks and trips to the museum, but I have now lost all motivation to do things with them as a family. The kids recently went to their dad's for a week, and the youngest returned with even more bad habits and more of a spoiled brat than he already was. Wow. My fiance has tried to implement much of what I tell her, and some of it seems to help. Yet new issues arise all the time, and I see no end in sight with this behavior. I feel horrible now because I made her quit her job and move down, and now I don't want anything to do with this step parenting role. Dude is like deuces. I'm thinking of just calling off the engagement and breaking off the relationship because I would feel horrible to lead these kids into a marriage where I don't love them and can't stand one of them just because I love this woman. I feel selfish and many other things, but I just can't see my future with these kids. Do I keep trying to make it work or get out now? You get out now. And you should have got out. Soon as you just, why did you have them move in with you and you hadn't been dealing with this woman for 5 years? What's wrong with you? Don't you know people change in 5 years? A lot, sir. A lot. And you didn't get to know who she is now. You didn't get to know the kids. Nothing. You just went jump in like, gung ho, like right in, like boing, into the water without any kind of like analysis of the situation. You was a dummy. Let me just tell you, you was dumb. And now, you bit off more than you could chew. And now you choking on it. So what I suggest that you do is, because you know what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to unask some money. Wherever she was living before that she moved from, you're going to have to pay to move her back there. Okay, you're going to have to pay for that. And you're going to have to set her up in an apartment with her and them kids unless they move back in with that daddy. Those are your only two options. You want to get rid of her, you're going to have to make it easier for her to go. And, she's probably getting some child support, so she'll be able to swing it till she gets a job or whatever. But no, you got to understand parents and a child are package deal. You don't get one without the other. You could love her all you want to. It's not going to matter because that little 3-year-old is going to be with her. Sounds like the child's got some problems, like mental and emotional problems. If he's 3 and he can only say 2 words, there's something wrong with that child. And that's, why the behavior is so egregious. But you're not equipped to deal with a special needs child. Obviously, she isn't either, and neither is the daddy. But it's their child, not yours. It's not your problem. So just put all of them on a Greyhound bus and be like, bye bye. And in the future, don't get involved with nobody that's got kids. Actually, you probably shouldn't have kids. You don't seem to have the patience for it. That's what I got to say. Yeah, he was dumb. He just jumped in. He's like, you know how dudes do, they flash back on the past and they think how good it was in the past, so that's going to still be the same. Okay, well, she got like it's extra 5 years on her and an extra kid that she didn't have when you was dealing with her before. I mean, why didn't you stop to think about this and maybe just date her for a little while, long distance or something, and get to know her, and then you could have found out that this kid was stupid and that she's crazy, and then you wouldn't have been bothered with all of this. But you, like, you moved too fast, and then you made some great mistakes there, and now you paying for them. I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, this is What the Fuck Tuesday with Deborah Cooper, relationship advice columnist. We're here every Tuesday doing this little dance. So if you want to submit a question to What the Fuck Tuesday, look in the show description down below and you'll find the link to submit your question. There's a form that you have to complete. If you want notice of when we do these shows, because you might forget, be sure to become a subscriber and hit that bell symbol so you get an instant notification and you can just run your way over here when it's time for the show. Okay, this is the last question. Question number 14. This is from a young woman, 26 to 35, in Manchester. 6 weeks ago, I met a guy through a male friend of mine. This guy admitted he does cocaine sometimes, and I said, that's fine as long as you don't do it near me. 3 days after meeting him, he kept me up all night till 7 on the phone, which I thought was strange. But when I told him I was going to sleep, I woke up to lots of messages of him accusing me of ignoring him. I know he was drunk also. Ooh. The following week, he took me for a nice meal, and then back at mine, we had drinks. Later on, I discovered he had ordered cocaine to my house, so I told him to go. But he flushed it down the toilet. Since then, he's made excuses not to see me at weekends, and in fact, I have not seen him for 3 weeks. Girl, you should be on your knees thanking Jesus, God, Buddha, Allah, everybody, all of them, giving thanks and praise, because this dude is a super dusty. He lives with his dad. And apparently, I can't go to his house because the place is a tip. A tip? What's that mean? He was texting and calling me up until Friday, and that's the last time I've heard from him. He was supposed to be coming over yesterday, but once again he hasn't shown up. He lost his mom 5 years ago, and it's clear this still hurts him. I'm wondering if he's taking this cocaine more regularly. The other night I was on the phone to him for 6 hours, and mostly he talks rubbish. Any advice would be great. I'm not going to text him, but if he contacts me, I would like an idea of what to say to him. Thanks. You say goodbye. That's what you say. You say click, like click. You don't say click. You just click and let the phone click sound talk for you. That's what you do. That's the bad thing though about cell phones and stuff. You don't that satisfying click that you used to get with the handset. The plastic banging on the dial part. It's not the same. Just hitting end call is not as satisfying. It's yeah, there's something really missing there because that you draw back your hand and you go whoosh like you Michael Jordan or somebody about to make a 3-point dunk, and you go and boom, click, hit that thing on the receiver. That was some good clicking sound, some banging that was just out of this world. Everybody would know they got hung up on. Now they be like they're not sure. Was it a drop call? They'd be like, hello, hello, hello. And so it's just not the same. But what I say is, girl, okay, let's walk through this because you 29 to 30, 26 to 35, but you still dumb. Okay, he's a drug addict. He's an alcoholic. He lives with his father, so he's not independent. The house is a mess. I don't know what a tip is in English talk, but I'm assuming that means it's a disaster area. He disappears because you're not supporting his codependent need for these drugs. And, he acts like a big baby that you won't give him attention. So I see nothing here but loserness times two. And I don't know why, this male friend that introduced you to this dude, you need to cuss him out and say, you know what, you introduced me to the most dusty motherfucker on the planet. He's a loser from every angle that you could look at, even from the moon, he's still a loser. And, talking on the phone for 6 hours, don't you have shit to do? Don't you have a job to go to? I mean, something to do with your time that's gonna make you some money, advance your life, progress your mission, something it's something sensible, than to spend it with some idiot that like this. I'm confused. But anyway, I would suggest that you block his number from your phone and just pretend like this never happened. That's what I would do because this is embarrassing for you to be this old and be this dumb. No, he ain't no friend. She never said he was a friend. She said that, she met him through a male friend. But I mean, the dude, dudes are stupid though because they feel like, okay, you're single and at a certain age, he's single at a certain age. Let's introduce you. They don't go any deeper. They don't look at any kind of, compatibility, morals, values, lifestyle. They don't look at anything like that. They just like, he's single and you're single. What's the big deal? Just meet each other, go out. What's gonna hurt? And so, in that respect, I understand what happened, But still, you still need to cuss him out just on GP. Yeah, he probably was. I mean, maybe the friend even told him that she does, that every now and then or whatever. But that's not my idea of a good guy that I would want to be bothered with, because he never gonna have no money, and he always gonna be all fucked up. His money gonna be fucked up, and his thingy's gonna be fucked up. What do I need with somebody like that for? And he's a drunk too. I mean, that's like a trifecta of fail. It's like all these dudes is just fail, 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 just fail all over the place. I don't know. I don't understand it. I couldn't be bothered, but everybody ain't me. That's what I have to say. I'm just saying, Lori, you know, I don't think I'm a trip. I just think I'm just a realist. If you want a certain kind of man in your life, you got certain places you want to go in life, you got certain things you want to do, certain things you want to put in place, and then you meet somebody like that who's all his money is going up his nose. I mean, what you supposed to do with that? I don't get that. I don't that he's we haven't had nothing to talk about. We don't have no kind of nothing in common. So that for us to continue even getting to know each other would be a waste of our time. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this edition of What the Fuck Tuesday. I'm like kind of in shock because the 17-year-old kid. That's I haven't gotten a letter from somebody that young in a long time, like probably several years. Um, so I'm kind of stunned there what was happening to him. The rest of these people are plenty old and they just making dumb decisions. But at least they had enough sense to write to me. So we got to give them at least 1 point for that. Okay. Other than that, I don't know. But come on Thursday, honey, we're going to be talking about addicted. Addicted. Look on the show on the live stream wall because I want to talk about these women that's presented in the vice column that we see. They don't seem to be able to let go of these dusty men. They just be going, we're going to go to therapy and we're going to this and we're going to try and all. How do I get them to understand? Oh, da, da. And they go through all these conniptions and stuff instead of letting that dust go. I, you know, so we're going to talk about that and what's going on in their head that makes them, want to cling to something that's that harmful to them, that's that upsetting, that full of drama and pain. There's a lot of reasons, and we'll be talking about those. That'll be Thursday. Be here at 6 o'clock on the dot, and we'll get started with that show. And everything else, I'm coming up with some good topics. We're gonna be setting up a webinar. I have an interview scheduled with a guy, mature man who's going to come in and talk about manhood on May 1st. It's a Wednesday. It's an unusual night, but I had to go with the schedule that worked for him. So it's going to be on Wednesday. You can, his name is Shannon McFall, and I found him on Facebook. Nice guy. We've been having some interesting conversations. And so he's going to talk to the young women who don't have a clue about what a real man should look like, as well as to the young men about what they should be striving for to be, calling themselves a man. And he's raised up $2. So, dude's got the perspective that we want, someone who's sensitive to the female issues. I was looking for somebody exactly like him, and I found it. All right. So, you guys, take care. I will see you on Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Be here, and we'll be getting started, talking about this addictive relationship kind of stuff, as well as any other issues that you want to throw in there. We always get sidetracked to talk about other stuff. Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. Love you. See you soon. Bye bye.